Hi, Alan Stratton from Woodturning. As I mentioned in the last video, my brother came to visit and had an agenda with wood and people feeder. In this video, we'll address his people feeder. The wood didn't turn out so well, so I picked up a piece of gum and made what I think is a reasonable people feeder. Now the problem is that he wanted one that would feed peanut M&Ms. Like this one works well as a commercial version with plain M&Ms, but peanut M&Ms are a totally different story. Now I think we did fairly well, but I think there can still room for improvements. So after you watch this one and see how we make this one, I'd appreciate your suggestions on how to make one that really works well to dispense peanut M&Ms instead of just plain M&Ms. After all, there's more to it. So watch, let me know.
Since the big leaf maple did not work out for a people feeder, I retrieved a block of what I believe is gum. Gum seems appropriate for a people feeder. It may contain gum. This had been ripped in half and sealed with greenwood sealer, but it has some drying checks that we'll have to deal with. Mounted to a screw chuck, I'm using an electric chainsaw to rip it into two pieces, one for the lower dish portion and one for the upper hopper holder. Since it is already mounted, I'm starting by rounding off the bottom dish portion. Since we have only a rough idea of what this people feeder will look like, I'm making this up as we go. I really don't know how deep to make the dish, so I'm leaving the wood fairly thick. I'll have to put it aside until I have a better idea of what the upper hopper holder portion looks like. But before I go, I'm cutting an expansion mortise in the bottom. I kind of figure the outer portion of the dish may need to be deeper than the middle. Now I've mounted the upper block with only live center pressure against a large wood faceplate. A bit of nostalgia. My original lathe did not have a live center. The center did not rotate. I had to keep it waxed with a bit of paraffin. Those were the days that I don't want to go back to. Let them rest in peace. Once this is round, I'm cutting a little taper on it before cutting a mounting tenon. I did say I'm making this design up as I go. For now, I'm leaving it thick and rough. Now I can mount it to a chuck with a tenon and get serious about this hopper portion. The first task after trimming the surface is to fit a mortise to the lid of the container we've selected for the candy hopper. Fitting a mortise to a lid or tenon is always harder than the other way around. Easy does it with a lot of test fitting. Finally, it fits. Now we can figure out a shape for the hopper portion. My box scraper really helps to cut the sides and smooth the bottom. Now we can sand this side and drill 4 large holes on the drill press to allow candy to move from the hopper to the lower portion. With the inside defined, we can tackle the outside and the bottom. For now, I'll just reduce the diameter, then thin it down and make a pleasing profile. Now I can use the lid recess or mortise to reverse and mount the hopper portion. It's handy to not have to cut a special mount. Now I can drill a hole to receive a dowel that will join the top and bottom portions. I'll turn the dowel later from another piece of wood so the grain can run lengthwise for strength. Then reduce the bottom. This is a lot of cutting air once I cut through the bottom of the holes. We're getting down to the end. We're consulting more on the details. Time to sand. Now that the hopper is set, let's see how we want the bottom dish portion. We don't need the center to be lowest, that would just accumulate unreachable candy. Instead, we want the lowest portion near the perimeter. That means we can leave a hump in the middle that will provide the spacing and direct the candy outward. This wood is way too thick. Oh well, I'll just waste it away. After scooping out the dish portion, I'm cutting a groove around the hump. I'll flare it out to disguise the fact that we'll use it as a mounting tenon. Now it is apparent that the dish portion is too thick. I don't want it deeper than it is. That means I need to cut away the underside. But I cannot do the center. So with heavy cutting finished, now we'll flip it around onto that tenon on the center hump. Then sand and sign the bottom. I sign with my shop-built power supply and pyrography pen using a small standard ball tip. My head-mounted magnifiers help to see what I'm doing and keep the lettering small. My brother took it home and finished it with Howard Butcher Block conditioner. I had told him to use a food-safe finish such as walnut oil. Matching holes in the lid and to the hopper portion did not work. My brother cut away the entire center of the lid, leaving only the outer rim. Now it rations out smaller doses of candy to young people looking for a treat. That's all for this people feeder. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe on my website, and tell your friends. Please wear your full face shield. You'll thank me later, or cuss your own self for not wearing it. I'm Alan Stratton from As Wood Turns. Come back next week for a new wood turning video.